Hello, my name is Nkolika Anyabalu, and I'll be sharing with you today my AKT experience. I am one of the program directors for Midwessex covering the Basingstoke patch, and I'm also a GP trainer in Dorset. I'd like to start by telling you a little bit about my background. I obtained my primary medical qualification from Nigeria, and I lived in Botswana for about 3 years before relocating to the UK in 2010. And I consider myself very lucky because I relocated straight to a very beautiful part of Dorset, and that's Poole, and that's where I've been living for the last 12 years and a bit. And in 2010, my family grew bigger because I delivered a set of twins, a boy and a girl, in addition to my 18-month-old. So I had 3 children under 2, and life got incredibly busy, but I was determined to get back into work. And because I hadn't had any NHS experience, I did some unpaid work in Poole Hospital and Bournemouth Hospital as doing some clinical attachment, and I was able to get an F1 surgical job, then a standalone F2 training job, and through that I was able to, at the end of that, I was able to apply for GP training, and I passed. I made it through the recruitment exams, and I was very pleased to get through. And I started my GP training as a less than full-timer at 60%, and in 2016 I made my first attempt of the AKT and didn't pass. I put my head down, did more work, tried it again a year later, and still didn't get through. And this left me with a plethora of feelings, and I was devastated because I couldn't quite understand why I was failing exams, because prior to coming to the UK, I didn't consider myself as someone who struggled. I did a dyslexia screening and I wasn't dyslexic. So I was referred to the professional support unit, and I had an in-depth conversation with the case manager at that time, and she made me think about the way I was doing things and how I could do things differently. And I got more active and decided to take on weight training as a way of trying to deal with my frustrations and also to help me focus, and it's something I'm still doing even up until today. And in October 2017, which was a few months later, I decided to give the AKT another go because I knew I had one more try, and I was very happy to pass at that time. And this picture reminds me a lot about my twins and the type of looks they always gave me at that time. And on passing, I realized that they were always telling me, "We knew you'd make it." And there were a few things that I learned from my experience. And one of the things that I learned is that it's important to be aware of one's learning style and to own it. And to be honest with you, at that time I didn't quite understand what my learning style was, and it took me failing the AKT quite a few times to actually realize what my learning style was. And it's important to have good cultural awareness because culture plays a very important role in success, in the way we do things and how we approach things. And unfortunately, my AKT experience, it took failing the exam several times to be more aware of the culture, the main culture and the subculture, and the culture of the UK society, the culture of the teams that I found myself in, and in my own culture. I also learned that it's important to share resources with trainees from a very early stage, It's never good to wait for trainees to start struggling before these resources are shared. Looking back, I knew, or looking back, I know now that there were certain things that were going to be, impediments for me, and that were going to stand in my way of getting through the exam. And if I had had access to these resources long before I started struggling, I am pretty sure the outcome would have been different. And I just want to urge you and encourage you to have those conversations, difficult conversations with your trainees, because having an open and honest relationship with trainees helps to mitigate against these issues that lots of trainees can face. And unfortunately, I know lots of trainees who were not able to get through the system and have not been able to get to the point that I am at today. And I owe it, and I owe my success in a lot of ways to the people that I've met along the way. People like you. Many thanks.